They have been forced out. The I-team investigating a growing number of local renters who say they're being illegally kicked out of their homes during the pandemic.
This despite moratoriums on evictions. Consumer investigator Jason Knowles and the ABC7 I-team diving into the ways landlords may be getting rid of tenants.
People have lost their jobs, gotten sick, and fallen on hard financial times during the pandemic. So moratoriums on rental evictions remain in effect nationally and in Illinois. However, the I-team has learned that some landlords are still seeking to remove tenants.
He asked me to leave in the middle of a pandemic without proper notice, without any empathy or compassion toward my situation.
Selena Stokes was laid off from 2 jobs during the pandemic. With little money coming in, she turned to the government for rental assistance. Stokes received $3,500 for her landlord to pay rent at her River Forest apartment, but
he gave me a written notice to leave, and when I asked for proper time frame, so that I can make arrangements for myself, he began to take the locks off, and that's really ultimately what led me up to leave.
So why was her lock removed? Well, it all started in early February. Stokes' landlord, Lonmu Liu, was cited by the village of River Forest for illegally turning the single-family home into a multi-unit rental, seen here in this Apartments.com rental ad. In this court filing, the village says the home represents a threat to the health, safety, and welfare of residents. In a phone conversation, Liu told the I-team the village deemed everyone needed to be out. But in this statement, the village of River Forest told us they quickly began working with the property owner to address the violations, but did not require that anyone move out of the home. Liu said he removed Stokes' single-sided door lock like this one because it was illegal. However, he did not replace it, something the Metropolitan Tenants organization says should have been done. If your landlord changes the locks or takes off the door, that's illegal.
That is completely illegal, and tenants can call the police.
John Bartlett, the executive director of MTO, says they've had a surge of tenant complaints about landlord bullying since the pandemic started.
We've received twice as many calls, particularly about lockouts from tenants. All of a sudden, their locks are changed, doors off the hinges.
According to data from MTO, almost 600 people across Chicago have filed reports with the agency about being bullied out of their homes during the eviction moratorium and pandemic. The agency says the complaints range from lockouts, taking off doors or locks, turned off utilities, and violent threats. Chicago's 6th Ward on the south side had the most complaints with 31. The 22nd Ward on the west side had 30 complaints.
The landlords are just harassing, calling up tenants all the time. Larger landlords are actually filing breach of contract issues with tenants.
Bartlett says it's essential that tenants know their legal rights and encourages landlords and renters to work together to resolve problems. You could also ask your landlord if he or she is able to qualify for a forbearance on their mortgage.
It's a hard time for both landlords and tenants, and good communication can make that go smoother. Put things in writing when you can.
Unfortunately, that didn't work for Stokes, who's now living in this motel, and she is struggling to save enough money for another security deposit. Catholic Charities is working to assist her.
I just want to be strong. I just want to get through this.
Because the eviction process is temporarily halted, tenants' rights organizations say landlords are suing renters for breach of contract. Those organizations say they're struggling with how to handle this new tactic. We have more information on tenants' rights and where to get rental assistance on our website, abc7chicago.com. Jason Knowles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Jason, thank you for that. Let's get your weather forecast. Sunshine's coming tomorrow, Cheryl.
It is, and we do have some new data coming in from NOAA that